The afternoon sunlight poured softly through the wide window of my living room, turning the wooden floor into a warm canvas of golden light. Spread out before me on the low table was a jumbled sea of puzzle pieces, each one a tiny fragment of something larger, something I had been waiting for days to bring to life, a handcrafted picture of dozens of adorable dogs. It wasn't just any puzzle. This was a custom-made, hand-cut wooden jigsaw that I had ordered from a small artisan workshop. Each piece had its own unique shape, hand-sanded edges, and a faint scent of varnished wood. The promise of the final image, a field full of dogs of all breeds, sizes, and personalities, made my heart dance with anticipation. I began by running my fingers over the pile, feeling the smoothness of the pieces and listening to the quiet click they made when I tapped them together. The first step was always the same: finding the edges. I sifted through the pile carefully, pulling out each straight-edged piece and lining them up along the sides of the table. Slowly, the frame of my future picture began to take shape, like a doorway waiting to reveal its secret. The colors teased me: patches of soft golden fur, black button noses, bright blue sky, and flashes of pink tongues. Once the border was complete, I sat back for a moment, imagining the scene. In the final picture, I knew there would be a group of playful puppies tumbling over one another in the grass, a dignified golden retriever sitting proudly in the center, a small fluffy Pomeranian wagging its tail, and even a pair of sleepy basset hounds resting under a shady tree. The variety of fur textures and the joy in each dog's eyes would be the true magic of the image. I decided to start with the easiest section, the bright patch of sky in the top left corner. Its gradient of pale blue to deeper cobalt was instantly recognizable. Piece by piece, the sky began to grow. It felt almost like painting, except instead of brushing color onto canvas, I was snapping shapes into their destined places. Each successful connection gave me a small surge of satisfaction. The moment a piece fit perfectly, it was as if the puzzle whispered a quiet yes. From the sky, I moved on to the large golden retriever in the center. His fur was a warm caramel shade, and the artisan had captured each lock of hair in delicate detail. I found the piece with his kind, soulful eyes first. It felt right to start from there. Slowly, his face emerged, his gentle expression looking out at me as though encouraging me to continue. His soft ears followed, then his nose, and finally the curve of his strong shoulders. The more I worked, the more the picture revealed itself like a slow-opening book. In the bottom corner, a group of tiny puppies began to form. There was a Dalmatian pup with spots so perfectly painted that I almost expected them to wiggle, a corgi with short sturdy legs and a mischievous grin, and a tiny chihuahua wrapped in a blue blanket. Each one seemed to radiate personality even before the full image was complete. Some pieces were trickier. The grassy field was a challenge, so many shades of green that my eyes had to sharpen to catch subtle differences in hue. I began grouping them into lighter and darker greens, noticing how some pieces had a curve that hinted at the outline of a paw, or a shadow that belonged to a playful tail. It took patience, but slowly, the ground beneath the dogs began to spread, grounding the scene in a lush meadow. Hours passed without me noticing. Outside, the sunlight shifted from gold to soft pink, and my table lamp cast a warm glow over the scene. The picture was now more than halfway done, and the excitement inside me grew. I could see the story forming: the golden retriever in the center watching over the smaller dogs, the basset hounds lounging lazily, the puppies darting across the grass. It was a celebration of canine joy frozen in time. When I reached the last cluster of pieces, the playful beagle in the corner, I felt a mix of eagerness and reluctance. Eagerness because I wanted to see the completed picture, reluctance because the process itself was so soothing that I didn't want it to end. I took my time with the beagle's floppy ears, his white-tipped tail, and the patch over one eye that made him look perpetually curious. The final piece was a tiny section of his paw, and when I pressed it into place, it clicked with a gentle finality. And there it was, the finished artwork. The field of dogs looked even better than I had imagined. Each breed was instantly recognizable, each expression full of warmth and life. The artisan's hand-painted details, the glimmer in their eyes, the softness of their fur, the way their paws pressed into the grass made the picture almost three-dimensional. It was more than just a puzzle. It was a handcrafted celebration of companionship, joy, and unconditional love. I sat back, smiling, letting my eyes wander over every detail. My fingers still rested on the table, tracing the smooth wooden shapes beneath the image. All the small, scattered pieces from earlier in the day were now united, their chaotic beginnings transformed into a harmonious whole. It reminded me of how moments in life, some confusing, some challenging, can come together to form something beautiful when seen from the right perspective. I decided that this picture deserved more than just being packed away. I carefully lifted it onto a wooden board, applying a gentle layer of puzzle glue to preserve it forever. As it dried, I imagined it hanging on the wall above my desk, where I could glance at it whenever I needed a spark of joy. The dogs' playful faces would be there to greet me every day, their frozen motion reminding me to stay curious, light-hearted, and kind. That night, as I turned off the lights and glanced one last time at the completed picture, I felt a quiet pride. I had not only pieced together an image but also experienced the quiet meditative rhythm of creation, the slow, steady progress that builds into something whole. This handcrafted puzzle had given me hours of happiness, and in return, I had given it a home where it could keep bringing smiles, piece by piece, for years to come.